I would say look at the positivity, just like my wife said. Stick with that. And don't let this downtime that hopefully won't be too long, but don't let this downtime affect your health and fitness. It's simple as that. Keep active, get out there for walks, go throw the ball around with your child, throw the ball around correctly. That's what we're doing. That's the information we're delivering to you. But use this family time to spend time with your family and make memories, positive memories versus maybe negative.
Live on video. Dee and Sangeeta Bhatia, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me on the Health Before Fitness podcast. Unfortunately, we can't be in person because of this very unfortunate coronavirus pandemic. But hey, you know what? I could see you, I could talk to you, and we'll make the best of this. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks. Our pleasure.
So obviously, I see the logos, the Fitkid app, that is what you guys are all about right now. That is what you guys are living for. I'm really excited to dive into that. And I even got it right here too, right? The Fitkid app is something special that I know you guys are working really hard on right now. And I'm excited to bring that to the world. But before we dive into that, I just kind of want to give you guys an opportunity to just kind of give your background on, how did you guys meet? How did you guys get to where you are today? Maybe Sangeeta, if you'd like to start.
So we met at a restaurant about 17 plus years ago. And it was just random. I was with my friends, my cousin actually, and he was with his friends. And I saw him from across the room. It's like what they say in the movies. It's like an instant connection. And I saw him, and I was the one who went up to him, which, that was the first for me.
Wow.
I think that I just knew. So that was the beginning of the end. It started there. I knew right away that he was the one and we would be together forever. And if I told him that, obviously, in the beginning, he'd probably run.
Freaked out, yeah.
She actually went home and told her cousins that she's going to marry me. Then she told them that same evening or that night.
That night.
Yeah. Now, I didn't hear about this until years later because, again, this conversation may not happen. But, yeah, we've been together ever since.
Did you feel that also, Dee? And don't lie, how did you feel that first day?
No, absolutely. I liked her. Right from the beginning. I maybe did not go home and say that, but obviously we're married here, and reality is everything I do now is really for her and my children. So it doesn't matter what I thought back then; it really does matter how I think right now.
Absolutely. Look where you guys are now, and that's exactly why I'm excited to have you guys on, because you guys have gone through so much together, and you're building things together. But you also seem to have your own individual identities as well, and a lot of people, when they have kids, they can get tied up in that being the top priority, and then they tend to lose themselves, right? And so I think you guys really have a lot of value to bring to people right now. And so I love hearing, that story on how you guys met. How did you get to where you guys are today? So Dee, what are you doing right now for work? And how are you adjusting to this whole little social adjustment?
Yeah, no, I'm in IT. I'm an account manager. I work in IT security. And if anything, it's really crazy and really busy with the changing kind of landscape and everybody working from home and just having to adjust their day-to-day business. So it's definitely, you have to adjust the way we do business and the way we address our customers' needs. But I think the world itself is changing, and I'm changing with it, right?
Mm-hmm. And then Sangeeta, how about you? How are you doing with this whole pandemic? What's your daily routine like?
Oh, a lot has changed, but life has slowed down, and I think we are trying to see the silver linings of, slowing down, spending more time with the kids. They, of course, can drive us crazy. Let's just be honest, but we are able to spend more quality time together as a family as a whole, and more actually individual time with each child as well. It's actually been nice. It's been a nice change.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because we are just so busy, go. days fly by. You try to make the most of the little time that you have with the kids and with each other. And then now, even though we have that go, go, go mindset, we're trying to just take the foot off the gas, actually maybe leverage this new norm right now and spend more quality time.
I mean, before we would get a total of, an hour of dinner, going in between dance and football and, baseball, whatever activities they have something every day, karate. So now we're able to slow down. They've been doing some of those classes on Zoom online. So they're still home and,
I think the idea is maybe to work with what you have in the simple formats that it's available to you, but still do the best and still try to do everything that you would do in a regular day-to-day scenario.
Right. Yeah, but you guys seem to have that outside the box mentality, right? You have the entrepreneurship kind of in the DNA, if you will. Is that something that you think you grew up with? Did you learn that from your parents? Did you just learn that through life? Or how did you get to that kind of entrepreneurial, mindset?
I think both of us are pretty smart and aggressive people. And I think we just want what's best for ourselves and our family. And that really kind of extends to what else can we do to make not only ourselves better, but then also the world better, right? Because we are just an extension of everyone else in the world. So, from an entrepreneur perspective, and I know you're probably trying to get into the Fitkid project that we're working on, it's really an idea of how can we make things better. And in this case, we're working on youth fitness and sports.
And help parents.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. We're trying to help parents.
Well, yeah, Dee, that's exactly where we're going. I mean, what are you two really passionate about right now? I mean, individually and collectively, I know you guys are probably working on maybe your own projects, but then also working on a big project right now together. What are you guys really passionate about right now?
I think our kids, that's most important, right?
That's always number one.
Yeah.
And basically the whole reason why the Fitkid App, why we came up with that idea is because we wanted to give our kids the tools, the mechanics, the confidence, so that when they are on the field, when they're out there and part of a team, they have everything that they need to be successful, to be confident, and to be able to play, with the team. So.
Yeah, we're parents. That's the most important thing to do or be in our lives. I'm sure many parents would absolutely agree that their kids come first and everything else is a distant second. And that's kind of the idea around everything we do, right? So to step back from a Fitkid app perspective, the idea is that we want to provide education, information, and really kind of an easy tool to utilize for parents all over the place to help their kids become better, become smarter, and more understanding of all type of youth sports and fitness, right? And essentially what that's going to do in turn is make them happier at participating in whatever sport or activity it is. And that in turn is going to make them participate longer. And that turns into long-term health.
Lifestyle.
Exactly, a lifestyle
Being
change.
successful in your career.
Yes.
At all.
Yes. So now speaking of that, you guys have two amazing kids. How old are they? What are their names?
Shayla, our daughter, is 11, and then Arian, he's 7.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so, I know them personally, and, I love you guys like family, and they are growing up. Obviously, everybody says kids are growing up so fast, but your kids are growing up in this kind of respectful, powerful kind of way where you can feel like they're going to make an impact in this world when they get older, right? They already are. They're already actually doing some really impactful things for their school and for, for their community. And so we know it's not easy to parent, right? It's very difficult. And oftentimes there's a lot of things that are kind of out of the parents' hands. But what advice would you have for the parents out there that may be struggling to give their kids the best childhood experience? What would you tell them? Obviously money not an option, just as far as what you guys have experienced with I don't want to say the success of raising your kids, but you're doing a really good job, right? So what advice would you have for them? Learning lessons or just some tips?
Well, thank you. You know, learning lessons. I appreciate you saying that we're great parents. It's kind of, it's every day. So the children are always changing. The kids are always changing. Their faces are changing. We have to come with the punches as they come at us. You know, whatever they're going through in life. But we've always had an open communication in this house. Always open. Our daughter Shayla has shown a great interest in leadership. Just recently at school, and all the different things that she's done outside of school as well. So we just keep her fuel going. She has internally, she's got a very
she's got a
fire, yeah. So we don't really have to push her as much as far as helping out in the community and bringing her best forward.
Yeah, no, I think Sangeeta brings up a great point. Being flexible, first of all, with your child is absolutely important, because the kids are going to change, they're going to adjust, there's going to be different influences in their lives, and we have to be okay with that. I think the second thing, which you brought up, was support. Make sure that they are supported and know that whether they're doing great things or maybe they had some hiccups in life, it's okay to go through that, but not only okay to go through that, it's okay to tell us that they're going through that, right?
Yeah.
So again, we can go back and support them.
We both kind of grew up in a household where they were stricter.
Yep.
You know, everything was kind of by the book, and it was not as open. I would say you would get in trouble. But here we have a different type of formula.
And that formula is changing all the time for us as well.
And we're not experts, but that's just what works for us.
And the last thing I'll add to this is love. I mean, if the kids know that you love them unconditionally, regardless of what they're doing, when they're doing it, that's all that matters, right? I mean, we all, even as adults, we make mistakes or, you know, try different things, change. As long as they know that they're loved, they're going to continue to come back to us with the information, the communication, so we can help them out. And that's in everything, right? And that leads us to all the activities, that leads us to the school, that leads us to even just special times at home.
Yeah, yeah. And when you say unconditional love, and, you know, that's obviously kind of a vague thing, right? So to narrow it down a little bit for people to better understand, I mean, if your kid makes a mistake, how you respond to that, right? Your tone, what you say, how you say it, that's the integrity of the relationship ultimately, right? And so it seems like with you guys, you have this ability to have the open door policy with them. So they know I can confide in them, because they're not gonna judge me. They're not gonna yell at me. They're gonna probably educate me and teach me, but I'm not afraid to talk to them, right? Because a lot of kids live in fear because they're gonna get punished. And so, you know, so with unconditional love, it seems like, is that kind of what you mean by that? Is that how you guys handle those situations?
Absolutely. And mistakes are just an opportunity to learn. It's just an opportunity to learn. And that's the same thing when we talk about Arian. He's our son Arian, 7-year-old. He's very passionate on the field too, when he's playing sports. And that's one of those things. It's okay to make mistakes, but if you have the best, if you have the tools and the technique and everything given to you, then you can go forward with your best foot. And that's where it comes with the Fitkid App, especially with making mistakes as well. But they're always an opportunity to learn, and he gets passionate, and he's always, you know, he can get down on himself sometimes when he makes a mistake.
Sure.
But,
No, again, it's just to be there. Look, we're going to be there for you guys. We're going to take whatever happens and turn it into a learning experience, and hopefully we can learn from it and continue to move on, right? I mean, Arian always says, we didn't lose, we learned. So.
And he learned that from you.
Right?
I mean,
I guess when you lose a couple of games, you start giving up.
It's hard to believe it, I know, but you know what? That's when it means the most, right? Is when you're in those lows, you can really stick to that mindset, man. That's really, really powerful. And that goes into, I think, this Fitkid app. So I want to definitely talk about, how did you guys come up with the idea for the Fitkid app? What is the Fitkid app?
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess let's start off with talking about what it is. It is an application, an app like that you would use on your phone, your tablets, maybe even your computer. And essentially, it's going to be a guide for helping parents, home coaches, the non-expert, right? Become better at sports, right? Help to take techniques that maybe alternatively would be a little bit difficult to find information on, or maybe there's no guidance behind it. Take that, bring it home, take it to your local park, even take it to the basketball, football, baseball kids that now you're teaching in the evenings because you're a volunteer coach, and hopefully make them better at the sport or activity they're working on, right?
So it's an app, and it's for youth, but it's directed towards coaches, parents, people who are going to be coaching these kids. So it teaches the teacher how to teach the kids. So then these, youth programs actually have some quality foundational like skills with purpose behind it. It's not just a weekend YouTube scan of workouts that they're writing down and they haven't done themselves. But so it's going to kind of be, but is this also something that kids can use, or is it kind of just primarily for the coaches and parents?
We're trying to make the content as simple and straightforward as possible. Almost like if you were reading a book, but now instead of reading a book, you're essentially watching and reviewing content in an order that makes sense to chapters that follow a specific sport. And it's funny that you brought up YouTube. This whole idea started about a year ago when I got together with a couple of other parents in the area. Again, none of us are experts. We're dads that like to teach our kids sports, right? And before the football season started, we decided, hey, let's bring together a couple of kids, just start practicing in advance. Well, that little gathering grew more and more and more over the weeks, that it got me thinking, hey, we can't just go out there and throw the ball and pretend to know what we're doing, which is kind of what we were doing. Let me go out there and review some content. So I went out to, look, there's various forms of social networking and social videos and content delivery out there. I went out there to a big one, did my review, and there's a lot of great content out there. The problem I had was I really had no idea how to put all this content together. Everybody teaches a different way. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different people trying to teach it. How was I supposed to put all that together? And that honestly drove me a little crazy. Took a lot of time, drove me crazy. So that got me thinking, what if there was something, a simple format out there that we can utilize, all parents can utilize, that will help us teach our kids, whether it's on the weekend or in the evening or whatever, because kids that participate in sports don't get enough practice, maybe an hour a week. So the more parents understand how to bring that back to the kids, the better the kids will become when they go out there on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday to play the sport. And that's really how the idea started. And then there's so many other things that, my wife and I and some of our other partners started thinking about as well, and how we can incorporate these features or this way of teaching. That this has become a much larger project than we ever thought it was going to be originally.
Sure. Wow. Well, I love that whole story about the connection between being a parent and then actually creating something of it. I mean, a lot of parents have these ideas, but you're actually putting it into play, right? And so what made you actually want to start making that jump into entrepreneurship, if you will, because it's an investment of your time, your energy, your money. It's uncharted territory for you guys. So, what made you actually want to commit and take action on that?
Yeah. I mean,
we saw the need. We saw the need for it. Us parents, we need it. We want to help other parents. We saw that huge need for it.
It's really as simple as that. Let's fulfill a need, because if we're not doing it, and hopefully maybe someone else ends up doing it, but what if they don't? Then you have a gap in something that's needed out in the world.
Yes.
Also,
And go ahead.
also, with the app, we're going to be showing correct form, correct technique, so it will reduce injuries. Our son has been injured a couple times playing, and sometimes it was because of the incorrect form.
Yeah.
So
well, let's talk about that a little bit, to dive a little bit deeper into the usability for the app. So what different sports does it cover? What's involved in it? And then also, like you said, the techniques and the mechanics. So like kind of how does it work? How is this different than, like you said, it's a chapter kind of thing. So it's an introduction, and then it takes you through progressive techniques, and then eventually it shows you how to incorporate it into that sport of play, or, give us the little rundown on that.
Yeah, I think first of all, starts off with the fundamentals, right? So understanding how to do certain types of warm-ups, right? So to get your body ready and going for whatever sports or activity you're going to be playing in, because if you jump into an activity cold, well, that leads to injury usually, right? We're also going to be working on techniques of speed and agility, because again, these ways of doing certain exercises or running in a certain way or changing the direction, again, help toward a sport or an activity. Exactly. Workouts, constant workouts, right? Keeping your body in the best type of shape possible. And again, we're talking about kids here, right? So we're not doing crazy workouts. We want to keep it simple and straightforward so that these kids stay active. Now, all of that is going to circle and forward into all type of sports, right? So you have a lot of the core sports, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, and there's going to be a lot more coming. And then that got us thinking, hey, there's more to it, right? Our daughter performs dance. My wife is very much involved in yoga. These are all performing arts, but they're still forms of essentially sports and fitness. So we started to incorporate some of those as well. So there's a lot of different things that are going to be involved. Yeah.
So there's alternatives. You don't want to play sports. The thing with our daughter is she got into sports at a very early age. We wanted her to try everything. She played t-ball, she played soccer, she played all of those things. And unfortunately, she didn't have a great experience. And sometimes it was because of the coach, and also because of the lack of knowledge that unfortunately the coaches and we also had that lack of knowledge, which is why we have experts to help us with the Fitkid app. So that was one of the reasons that she didn't blossom in sports. It wasn't her thing. She will do it because she's always motivated to just whatever she puts her heart into, she'll give it her all. But you could tell that she was not blossoming. It wasn't her thing. So she wanted to dance. So we put her into ballet, and it's extremely difficult. It's an extremely difficult sport. Ballet is really hard, and it's really great for your full body. So, that's another reason why we are incorporating ballet into our sports app.
Yeah, and just to kind of summarize everything, we talked to a lot of coaches, whether it's head coaches in high school, whether it's just coaches like myself, right, that are a father and want to be participating in things. And the main positive feedback we got was, this is great that you're incorporating all types of sports, because that's what actually leads to a well-rounded person. And when I say all types of sports, I also include the ballet and the yoga and, other things that we're going to be incorporating, because, hey, it all comes together. I mean, one of the things that people don't realize is a lot of football players actually practice ballet in the off season.
Yeah, bodybuilders too. Bodybuilders practice ballet, and because it's an art form, right? Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
So the idea is, let's take all the fundamentals. Let's take these different types of sports, whether it's traditional or out of the ordinary performance. Let's bring them all together into a central platform that parents can easily utilize and understand what they're looking at, reviewing, and essentially go home and help their kids go through whatever they need to go through.
Wow. Now, when you guys first thought about this, I'm sure Dee, maybe something you did also, but I know Dee's probably OCD type A like I am and does his research. You looked into all the competition, everything else out there, all the other apps. what did you find? You know, obviously you still found that there was nothing like this, right?
We feel there's nothing like it for what we're building and what our idea and strategy is. Of course, there's a lot of great content out there. There's a lot of great applications. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I am not going to negate that. We just felt like we wanted to do something different, specifically focused for youth fitness, and that is the key piece, right? There's a lot of great apps, a lot of great technology, a lot of great content. A lot of it's focused on adults or even older kids, high school. We want to focus on the young blossoming child that is very influenceable one way or the other. So let's influence them toward the right way.
Got it. So it's how young would you say, and to how old?
I mean, that's an open area right now, but really what?
4 to maybe 12, maybe even beyond 12. So that's why our app is going to have a beginners and an intermediate and then an advanced section.
Got it. So because it's going to have different levels, which will achieve different ranges. But hey, let's be honest. I mean, you even see people in the gym working out. You even see adults. you even see professional athletes that don't have the right mechanics, right? So really, it's for anybody that sees the need for it, right? I mean, because I'm involved in Fitkid App, obviously. So you see the Fitkid here, and we're like family. We go way back, and with my experience in sports performance training and athletics and stuff, I loved this idea. So as soon as you brought it to me, I was like, you know what? Let me do my research. Let me look out there and see what else is going on, because it'd be hard to believe that there aren't other people or parents that have thought about this, because the youth fitness, the youth health industry in general is booming industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, but there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of experts and a whole lot of, individualized quality programs and offerings out there the way there is for the general population, So I saw a huge need for it, and I'm having a blast with you guys building this thing out, but what I'd like to talk about next is I mean, what with the app, where are you in terms of rolling it out? Are people using it? And what does that timeline look like?
Yeah, we've got a small set of people using it right now, really kind of internal and beta users, probably around the 100 plus range. Not a lot. Again, we will be releasing very, very soon. We're expecting in the next week or two to be out available in public. So yeah, we're really excited. And in these times that are very interesting across the world right now, really set us up for a scenario where our users can use this information at home, right? Wherever their home may be. So are you guys trying to accelerate that process to get something launched here pretty soon? Or because it's it's April 12th, it's Easter Sunday right now, yes. Right?
Happy Easter.
People who are watching this right now, or if they're watching it as it's recorded, as far as the timeline goes, how do they get a hold of the app? When could they look to start using it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, I mean, the reality is with anything that goes into anything technology, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes. It's not as easy as, hey, have an idea and here you go. We've been working on this idea for now many, many months. We have accelerated that. So again, we're hoping that this is out on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple iTunes Store in the next 2 weeks. The process has already been put into play. But in the meantime, if you want to check out some information, we've already got videos out that you can start learning from. You can go to our website. That's fitkidapp.com. It's really that simple, fitkidapp.com. You can check us out at our all of our different social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah. And you can even check out YouTube. If you go to YouTube and search Fitkid App, there's a lot of content that we threw out just because we wanted to get the content out, given the scenario that everybody's dealing with.
Awesome. So they can search the different social channels to see kind of how you guys are, adopting this new norm and still trying to bring the value for everybody. As far as staying up to date with you guys and say when this launches, do you have an email address or a contact, or where are you most live or most active? Would you say it's your Instagram? So if we want updates and things like that?
Yeah, I think Instagram and Facebook is great. I mean, everybody's using social media for updates nowadays.
Yeah.
And you know, we're open to information. We're open to feedback. We're open to even more people wanting to work with us. And you can email us at info@fitkidapp.com. So.
Awesome. Now, when you say work for you guys, are you referring to certain sports coaches? Who are you referring to exactly?
Well, I think the reality is at this point, this is a work in progress as we move forward, right? So, you know, this is really designed for the world, the community, wherever you may be. So we're open to people coming to us and say, hey, you know, I have this much experience. I would love to be part of the app, maybe bring some content in. We're open to people coming in and saying, hey, I like how you did this, but maybe if we did it this way. We're open to partnerships. So really what you just asked is a wide open question and a wide open answer from us. We're very open because we want to build the best possible fit kid family that we possibly can to address all the fit kids out there.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So it sounds like you guys have a lot of it being developed already. You're in the works of it actually going public so people can start downloading and using the app. And it sounds like it's also going to continue to build out and evolve over time. So hopefully people can get on board, download this app and start using it from the beginning. And then over time, it's just going to continue to bring more and more value, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So before we close it down, is there anything else that you guys want to mention right now? Is there anything that's, you know, really burning a fire in your heart? Maybe something about this pandemic, maybe, you know, what are you seeing out there? A lot of people are kind of stressing and freaking out right now. How are you guys adjusting to all this? Are you guys in a good place? You know, is there anything else you guys like to mention?
I'm very grateful to say that we are in a good place. We're lucky that we have, you know, shelter and we're okay and we're able to be with our families, you know. And what we're seeing out there is just like all the other parents, they're adjusting to homeschooling. You're adjusting to get your kids to do PE as well, which is why we have put some videos out on YouTube and on Instagram. So if you're looking for something to do for your kids' PE time, learning a new variation of speed training, learning some baseball for when it's time to get back on the field, all those things are helping. We actually use it for our kids as well. And Erin has really progressed by learning a lot of the speed tutorials that you have done for us, which are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say look at the positivity, just like my wife said. Stick with that. And don't let this downtime that hopefully won't be too long, but don't let this downtime affect your health and fitness. It's simple as that. Keep active, get out there for walks, go throw the ball around with your child, throw the ball around correctly. That's what we're doing. That's the information we're delivering to you. But, you know, use this family time to spend time with your family and make memories, positive memories versus maybe negative memories.
Right. Right. Yeah. The way I've been kind of thinking about it is, well, obviously for me as a health coach, I feel I have a purpose and an obligation right now, you know, to positively impact people through health and fitness and mindset. And that's what these podcasts are all about, is it really helps people understand how to shift their paradigm to start creating the kind of lifestyle and environment that they ultimately want for themselves. And you guys seem to be doing that. And it's so good to see you guys. I wish we could be in person. But I'm really excited about what you guys are creating with the Fitkid app. And I really wanted to have you guys on because I want people to get to know who's behind it. But also what it's about, because I feel there's such a need for it. And I know there's going to be so many kids, so many parents watching this, whether it's now or in a month or a year from now, and they're going to look you guys up and it's going to change their kids' lives, you know, and you guys are going to end up getting reviews and comments and emails, you know, over time, and all this little struggle and these ups and downs, it's going to be well worth it, you know, and I firmly believe that. And that's why I'm on board this boat with you guys too, because it starts from the youth. I mean, that's where it starts from. It starts from the crawling, you know, and you got to learn how to get up properly, or else you're going to keep falling down, right? So really, really happy to have you guys on. I want to just finish off with one last, it's a two-part question. So maybe Dee, you can answer the first part, and then Sangeeta, you can answer the second part. So Dee, what is your relationship with failure? I didn't prep you for this, I know.
No, you didn't prep me for this, and that's okay. What is my, I'm sorry?
What is your relationship with failure? Your own personal relationship.
My personal relationship with failure, it happens. It's simple as that. Anybody that says they haven't failed once or twice or more than that would probably be lying. I think the biggest thing is take whatever failure has been delivered and figure out how to learn from it, adjust it, and do better next time. It's really as simple as that. I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as losing is learning, right?
Learning. That's it. And it sounds like that's what Arian is starting to, that's how he's starting to get his mindset wrapped around it too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. And then, okay, Sangeeta, now why do you think most people fail when it comes to their health and fitness? So you've personally been committed, focused, dedicated, achieved some milestones in your own health and fitness journey. I'm sure you've also failed along the way. So why do you think most people fail when it comes to their health and fitness?
So, well, my fitness journey is a very long one, and it has a lot of ups and downs and a lot of rolls and turns and all of that stuff. And yes, I have failed. And why do I think that I failed, or why people fail, is because they're looking at the short term. This is a long-term, lifelong lifestyle. I have failed before because, you know, you fall into the gimmicks, you fall into the short-term satisfaction, and that never works. It never works. And I think that's why people fail. And I think you really have to want it. You really have to see what you're going to get out of it. And you don't always get the same thing out of it all the time. It's always changing. There's always something more beneficial and more positive the longer you go in your fitness journey. So, you know, it took me a good 2 to 3 years to get to a goal that I was very comfortable at. But then your goals start changing, you know, and you fail again, and then you get up and you keep working on it. But I think that's the main reason why people fail, is just that short-term satisfaction. And you just have to keep it into your mind and keep working on it, keep working and know that it is a long-term lifestyle change. And every once in a while, you're going to have a hiccup, but you just get back on and you keep rolling. Yeah.
Awesome. So just your relationship with failure seems to have a big influence on your relationship with your health and fitness, right? Because from hearing what Dee was saying with how he kind of looks at failure, and then with you mentioning how you're going to fail, but some people just don't get back up. Some people do. Understanding it's a long-term play, hearing it, it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah, it's a long-term play, whatever. But it's like, no, really, like this is a lifelong thing we're talking about. So even if you do have a hiccup, or you do have a couple weeks of a hiccup, or you have a binger for a month, like whatever the case is, there's always another day. It's always a then what, right? You're always going to wake up another day, God willing, and you're always going to have another opportunity at it. So it's like embrace and accept that it's a lifelong thing. You're going to have some hiccups. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just never give up, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, you guys. Well, thank you so much for your time on this Easter Sunday. I'm not sure, we didn't cheers in the beginning, but we're going to cheers in.
Cheers now. Cheers.
I love you guys. Tell the kids I said hi, and we'll talk with you real soon.
Cheers. Happy
Okay.
Easter.
Take care, you guys.